Okay, hello. So this is going to be a pick a card reading on what's blocking love. I am going to look into what's blocking you from love right now, what past experiences are hindering your ability to attract love, and any universal guidance, ancestral guidance, and the next steps that you can take. So I want this reading to be inclusive of people who have and have not been in a romantic relationship before. So regardless of whether or not you have been in a romantic relationship or not, this reading is for you. So there are 3 groups. Group 1, 2, and 3. And without further ado, let's get started. Okay, group 1. If you pick the shells, you also have a picture of insects. I will talk about how the pictures relate to your reading a little bit later on, but let's just get started. So I already pre-shuffled the deck, but for this group, I'm feeling that a lot of you are frustrated, like the sense of wanting something done a certain way or by a certain time and it not coming into fruition. For some of you, you might feel like you're way too old, that it might never happen because of your age. Yeah, but I'm sensing a lot of frustration. So let's get started. I already pre-shuffled the decks, but I'm gonna shuffle this one more time. Oop, that was not right. Go again. Second time's the charm. Okay. So what is blocking you right now from love? We have the toad. Oh man. So if you think about fairy tales, the princess and the frog, for example, kissing the frog to get a prince, right? So there's 2 different energies I'm picking up on. For some of you, it could be that you have kissed a lot of frogs, a lot of people who weren't worth your time or energy, and it's made you very annoyed at the whole process of dating. Like, I'm seeing some of you guys were on Tinder or Bumble or online dating, being set up by friends, and you're just over everything. Others of you are scared of dating. You might have not dated, but you might have been hearing what it's like to date or to court from other people. And if you're from a culture where dating is not a thing, it could be that you are scared of just ending up with someone and finding out that they are completely different than what you thought they are. Because being in a relationship is risky, yeah? A person could just turn out to be something completely different than what they had originally presented themselves as. So yeah, a lot of kissing frogs and a lot of fear and frustration is what I'm picking up. Mostly frustration and worry that it might not be what you want it to be. So there's two different energies. One is of frustration, being done with it all. The other is of fear of what it's going to be. Okay, so what past experiences are holding you back? We have mushrooms. Yeah, this is a lot. So for some of you, you might have thought you were going to end up with someone, and I feel like this person duped you. Sort of like pulled the rug beneath your feet and did a 180 on you. A complete 180 on you, and it sort of broke your heart. Others of you, I'm feeling the sense of you think that what you want is unrealistic. Maybe you have been told that what you want is never going to happen. It's unrealistic. It's out of the realm of possibilities. And you're thinking to yourself, if I can't have what I genuinely and truly want, what's the point? You might be the type of person who thinks they have very high expectations. But for some reason, I don't think that's true. I think your expectations are valid. But for some reason you think that they're way above what anybody could give you. This could also be seeing the relationships in your childhood. For some of you, it's not the relationships that you have been through. It's more of a second-hand experience, so witnessing certain relationships in your childhood and how they ended up. So this is the energy of breaking your own heart before someone else does it. Okay, so let's see any guidance. I'm thinking 2 cards for guidance. We have freedom and pond. That is beautiful. Let's start with freedom. Where do I start? So the advice to you is similar to a quote I once heard, which is to stop boring God. Whether you believe in God, the universe, or whatever, once upon a time, if you told someone that we would be connecting like this through a screen, I'm probably in a different continent than you, you're probably in a different continent than me, even if we are in the same continent, by the time you're watching this, it's gonna be way past the time I have uploaded this. So it's almost as if when you're connecting online, the concept of space and time disappears. So, what you think is possible and what you think is impossible, you need to free yourselves from that idea of what is and what is not possible. If you quote unquote have high expectations, hold on to those high expectations, but not from a sense of, I have high expectations and nobody's going to meet these expectations. Hold on to them as in, I have these expectations and someone's going to meet them. I have the belief that if you genuinely, truly want something, you are meant to have that thing. So there are, if you look closely at this card, the picture is almost symmetrical on both sides. Almost symmetrical, not quite. We have a woman here, a woman there, a woman here, a woman here. It's almost as if you can fold the image on itself. It's like mirroring each other. So I'm finding that you probably have a person who is meant for you going through a very similar experience. And it would be sad if you were to give up on that. And I know it sucks when someone says that. Like, you know those, I especially see them on TikTok. This person's gonna call you, you're gonna find the love of your life tomorrow, blah, 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 blah. I am not here to say that you're gonna find the love of your life tomorrow, next week, although it could be. I'm here to say that they exist. Whether or not you find them is in fact up to you. Okay, so my camera cut out, but like I was saying, you need to free yourself from the idea of what is and what is not possible, because the person for you exists. But whether or not you find them depends on whether or not you think it's possible. People generally do not achieve what they think is impossible. So for you to come into fruition or to meet up with your desire, yes, to meet up with your desire, you would need to think of it as possible. An example here is the pond. And our first card was the toad. I kept on saying frog, but it's toad. So for me, the symbol that the pond represents, or rather what the pond represents, its symbolism, is freedom. For some reason, for me, I think water is like one of the most freest things on earth. Like, it doesn't actually have a form. You can put it in a cup, you can put it in a lot of things, but air and water, one of the most freest things that you can have. And with that being said, I feel the moment that you start believing in what you want and that it is possible, is almost going to be like a snowball effect. a small snowball at the top of a snowy hill, rolling down, getting bigger and bigger as it goes down, until it reaches the bottom. So it's taking little tiny steps, whatever it is, every day, and one day you would have reached your destination. It's not about getting there quickly, it's about taking little tiny manageable steps so you don't burn out. Practical steps so you don't give up. And eventually you would have met up with your desire. So that is universal guidance. Let's see ancestral guidance. Interesting. We have cauldron and wall. So like I was saying, you could have kissed a lot of frogs. You could be scared of trying. You might not think there's even a point at all at this moment in time. But I don't think that you are the first person in your lineage to have done this. There is someone who has done this. And I'm picking up on a woman. Yeah, she would have given up on love, especially if like someone she loved dearly passed away or left her. Something that she really loved got taken away from her. But with the cauldron, when you think about the cauldron, you think about witches. And what do witches do? Cast spells. Spells are magic. We have a lot of fairy tale elements here. The cauldron, the toad, mushrooms. Like all of this is pointing to some inner child stuff. So I'm thinking that this is something that people in your lineage have also gone through. So it could be like ancestral patterns, for example. And it's funny because you picked the shells and we have the wall here. It's almost like your ancestors and you have this natural instinct of self-preservation. And it's very normal. Like insects. Insects have a exoskeleton. Their skeleton is on the outside. It's almost as if because of the energy that you're in, when someone is to approach you, the first thing they would see is your hardened exterior, whether you realize it or not. And it could be a little bit intimidating for a lot of people. And I'm seeing that your ancestors, their advice is to slowly get out of your shell. And to remind yourself that you're human, right? And human beings get hurt. But you can't wear your skeleton on the outside. Human beings are a social species. And as much as you want to preserve yourself, keep yourself safe, it comes at a cost, right? You're not getting what you want. And I'm feeling for you guys, you genuinely do want a relationship. Not because you need it, but because you want it, right? And even if you need a relationship to be happy, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. I am not of the belief that human beings have to be an island unto themselves. It's unnatural. But I'm feeling like this group would be the type of person to, I don't know what word to use, maybe glow up if they were in a healthy, happy, committed relationship. A relationship that nurtured you. You would do like things that you never thought you could. And it's beautiful. But your ancestors are like, you need to breathe. And you need to come out of your shell slowly but surely. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, obviously. So let's take a look at your next steps. We have justice. You know, for your reading, I keep on seeing eyes. Eyes. So let's do three next steps. We'll start with justice. Audrey Lorde. Justice. So your ancestors are coming through again, especially with all the eyes that we've been seeing in your reading. That's 1, 2, 3, and I think there were like 2 others. Yeah, 3, 4, and 5. So they're coming through to tell you that whatever it is that you have gone through, and you thought that you were alone when you were going through it, and whatever this thing is could be very, very dark. I won't go into that. But you are not alone, and there is some sort of justice that's coming. And it's not the justice that's like physical, it's a spiritual justice. See how she's like in the shadows, in the dark? This is giving me spiritual justice. Beyond this realm type of justice. And that is the most powerful and the most scary. So there is justice for whatever you have gone through. But that was just a message for someone. We have justice, lion, and elixir. Elixirs are like magic potions. They can literally do almost anything. And we also have the cauldron in your reading, right? So here it is, the cauldron. So the next step, I am going to give you actionable steps. This would be to get vulnerable with yourself first. So you don't have to get vulnerable with other people. Start with yourself first. Think about what it is that you genuinely want in life. And you can make a vision board. You can keep it private. You can even do a little private Pinterest board, for example. but it's to dream and dream big. And to also know that your person, whoever it is that you are attracting, when they see you and you see them, you are going to recognize each other instantly. There is no playing games with this person. They're very loyal, courageous, committed, and you will know it's them because they do not play games. Let's pull one tarot card. Four of Pentacles. Well, technically in this deck it's the Four of Winter. And at the back of the deck we have the Two of Autumn, which is like the Two of Swords, which is like closing yourself off. And the Four of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite deck is that man holding on to his pentacles. So it's about letting go. Easier said than done. But you gotta start with yourself first. Be vulnerable with yourself first, then maybe try a friend, a therapist. But you generally need to be vulnerable for you to have a happy, healthy, committed relationship with anyone, even yourself. So yeah, group number 1. That is all I have for you. I hope that helped, and yeah, goodbye. Okay, group number 2. If you picked this plant, you also have this picture. I will tell you what the picture means in relation to your reading a little bit later. Let's get started. So I already pre-shuffled the deck. So I already pre-shuffled the deck. First question is, what is blocking you from love right now? We have the Rabbit. And for some reason, I am thinking about adult things. I feel like some of you have been played with before. In that you thought that you were making a genuine connection with someone, and they turned out to be really, really only using you for other intentions. For the Rabbit, I want to read it out of the guidebook. It's talking about waiting, making leaps, and adventure. So along with the adult thoughts, there's quite the opposite. The rabbit for me can also be a symbol of innocence. So this is very similar to the last group in that, not that the readings are similar, that there's different people watching this. For some of you, it could be that you have been played with, and if that's you, you know. Others of you, it could be that you have I've never been in a relationship, probably never even kissed anyone, never dated, so nothing. You're probably one of those groups that have been single since they were born, basically. And let's go back to the question. So the question is, what's blocking you right now from love? And the answer is you. Not the kindest of answers, but it's you. Let's go into why it's you. Interesting, so interesting. This is Sandra Cisneros. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But there's something in her biography about her here it is. So joys and sorrows of the body. So she's born in a working class Chicago neighborhood to a Mexican father and Mexican American mother. She navigates the richness and misogyny of both Mexican and American cultures. She vowed to never marry and to always have a house of her own. Her most famous book, The House on Mango Street, is a coming-of-age novel, saturated and full of I can't talk. Let's read that again. Her most famous book, The House on Mango Street, a coming-of-age novel, is saturated and full of sensory vignettes and is taught in elementary schools and colleges alike. So over here it says, make sure to check out her poetry, which asserts a healthy, I can't say that word on YouTube, and her masterful stories too. So yeah. So with this group, I'm seeing the thing that's holding you back is how do I say this without getting in trouble on YouTube? It's your relationship with your body in a sensual way. Yes, that's how I'm gonna put it. So there is nothing wrong with you in the sense of if you've done what you've done or not done what you've done. I'm not talking about like the act, I'm talking about the energy behind it, right? The intention behind it. So if you have been violated in that way, forcefully, or you opened yourself up to someone and they did not take it as a sacred act and they sort of denigrated you or degraded you in that way. You opened up yourself to someone you thought you loved and thought loved you back, but they didn't. And for some of you, it's your personal beliefs about that word, I can't say on YouTube, and your body. So if you have never had an intimate relationship, for example, there's nothing wrong with that. I, for one, should not be judging because me too, girl or man. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is the intention behind it is what matters. It's the why. So I think you have to take a very close look as to what the why is. Because for some people, they might have vowed to never do that because they had negative experiences, and what they need is therapy, not to go through it alone. Others might have vowed to never do that until marriage, for example, but that's not a personal belief, that's a cultural one, right? I think that whatever you do with your body has to be something that is your choice. You need to take ownership of that. And that is one of the things, and I can say with 100% confidence that that is the only thing that's holding you back. And I know that's a big statement, but I feel like this group is the kind of people who would fix themselves with shadow work, journaling, probably watch a lot of tarot videos, manifestation videos, but you're not taking into account this aspect of your life. So it's to take a deep look into your reasonings behind whatever your beliefs on this word I can't say on YouTube are. Okay, so next question is, what past experiences are hindering your ability to find love? Ooh. This just got really, really deep. We have creature's paw. Interesting. So yeah, it goes back to what I was saying about your beliefs on that word I can't say. And with creature's paw, it's like it's a picture of a very intimidating hand. So this could be being violated, for example. Or feeling tainted in some way, like gross, disgusting. Feeling you're ugly or just gross, like very disgusting energy. And I'm not feeling like you felt like this your whole life. It's more something, or someone rather, has made you feel this way. And I'm seeing the number 44. So this probably has to do with the house, the household, so family, parents, siblings, maybe your culture. But it's your past experiences on that word that I can't say on YouTube. It's your past experiences on that and your beliefs on that. And for some of you, I don't want to be like, I don't know. For some of you, the reason why you have never been intimate in that way could be because you know, but don't want to admit to yourself that you are not you're not heterosexual. That's all I'm gonna say. And so rather than pretend or lie, you're probably one of those people who think that if you don't do the act, then you're not a homosexual kind of thing. but that's only for probably a very specific person. But yeah, there is a lot of shame involved here. Shame around your body and around, again, that word I cannot say on YouTube. And it's very disgusting energy. So we have Universal Guidance, the book. This is counseling, therapy, writing it down. It's better out than in. Books can hold a lot of secrets. And it's the energy of holding it. I don't know if you know anything about how energy can affect you, but the energy of holding on to shame and secrets is horrible. Like, it can manifest as very vicious illnesses. So you have got to let go of that, if it means therapy, if it means writing it down and burning it, but it's definitely needing to let go in one way or another. Yeah, it's writing it down, but I'm seeing the written word. Writing it down. For some of you, you might have to get a restraining order against someone. But yeah, writing it down, journaling. Some of you might have kept a journal in childhood, and you might not remember your childhood. So as I'm talking about this, that might be sparking something within you, and then you look at the journals you had when you were younger. Okay, so this is ancestral guidance. So for the last group, this came up, so I'll take another card as well. Wall, knife. Let's take 3 cards. Elixir. These 2 came out in the last group. This is crazy. So wall and knife is protection. Oh, this is finally making sense. So if you feel unsafe in your body, for example, it could be taking a self-defense course. Learning how to defend yourself physically can bring you a lot of confidence. I'm feeling the feeling of not feeling safe. Some of you might want to look into getting a weapon. That's not for everyone. But I do not judge. And if that's what it takes for you to feel safe, then do that. And for the people that have never been intimate in any way, we have the elixir here, which is like a potion. But I think I'm going to draw another card. Solitude. Okay. So if you're part of the group that has never dated, never been intimate, and it's just been solitude, and if it's for a cultural and family or religious belief that you yourself do not resonate with, if you look closely, she has a broken heart right here. She's dressed really prim and proper and everything, but her heart is broken. And we have elixir here. So if that is you, And like I'm saying, this is only for you if you do not resonate with the beliefs that were given to you. It's to try to, what? How do I say this? Is to try to see if this is something that you want or something that you do not want. So I'm not saying that you go out there and do stupid things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you need to genuinely understand yourself. So like taking an elixir. Like if you could be a witch and like make a magic potion to tell the truth, for example, is to tell the truth to yourself first and foremost. Like, what do you want? What do you want in life? What do you want with your body? What do you want? And getting comfortable expressing that. And only then will you be comfortable in doing anything, should you want to. And I'm being brought back to the pictures. Let's talk about this one first. So when I said that the major thing holding you back from finding love was you, we have this picture here, and it says a picture of good health. It's all in the mind for this group, the mind and the body. It's like memories. So the advice for this group is to write it down, journal, have a knowledge of self, because that is the most important. Knowing yourself and what you want so that you can have boundaries. And then we have this pact. And if you know yourself, you have roots, right? These roots aren't like the tree roots, they aren't the strongest roots, but they're roots nonetheless, right? So knowing yourself gives you the ability to be firm in your stance, to be firm with your boundaries, your beliefs. So the universal guidance is that you should know yourself, know what you want, and act on it. Easier said than done. But let's go to ancestral guidance. We have humanity. Let's pick 2. And tree. Crazy. I'm just talking about a tree right now. Wow. That's actually kind of scary. And we have a tree at the back. Very, very interesting. So like I was saying about the tree and the roots. So these aren't tree roots. So this is starting small. Knowing what you like. And then going bigger and broader. And very soon you will have firm roots, a firm sense of self. You'll be strong and confident in your body, in your boundaries, and in your identity. And I feel like this is something that your ancestors have been pushing you towards. Whether it's finding out more about your ancestry, but they want you, the advice here is to understand that you are human. And humans, whether they like it or not, most of humanity has, that word I cannot say, desires. So, hiding yourself and pretending like these desires do not exist versus knowing yourself, what you genuinely want, and going after it. Two different energies. But if you want something, you have to kind of go and get it. It's not going to come to you. But yeah, the advice is for you to know yourself so that you have firm boundaries in place, firm beliefs. So let's take 3 cards. Let's go with 2 on your next steps. We have intellect and Carson with intellect and braid. Oh, yeah. I'm feeling like this group deals a lot with people pleasing. That's probably where a lot of your beliefs about your body and certain things come from. But it's to let your hair down and relax. Breathe. Calm down. Get out of your mind and into your heart. But how can you do that practically? You can start by watching movies. I think movies are an easy way to do that. If you want something, let's say you want a better relationship to your body, for example, you can watch a movie where the protagonist has a great relationship with their body. What movie would come to mind? I can't think of any at the top of my head. Or you could, for example, if you had a horrible time in high school, you could watch high school movies where the protagonist has a horrible time but then overcomes it. There's something about living through others vicariously that can be very healing to you. But also, find at least one person that you can talk to and let your hair down, let your guard down with. So let's pick one tarot card. I feel like with this group I had to talk in code because of the nature of this reading. Also the fact that I'm a prude, but one tarot card. Okay, we have Page of Spring. That is so beautiful. So being like a child again, with that natural curiosity that children have, that natural innocence. It's like beginner's mind. So group 2, that is all I have for you. Thank you, and until next time, goodbye. Group 3, if you picked the citrus, we also have the bees and honey. I will tell you what this means, what these 2 pictures mean for your reading a little bit later on. But I already pre-shuffled the deck. We'll get started. So the first question What is blocking you right now from finding love? We have the dark. Sylvia, oh my, okay. Just need confirmation. Okay, that makes so much sense. Wow. So we have the dark and we have the lantern. This is giving me the energy of mental health issues. Could be depression. Oh, this could be also some sort of disability. And the belief that because you have this, that nobody's going to want to be around you, especially not romantically. This is depression, anxiety, panic attacks, PTSD. Also CPTSD. I don't know if you're familiar with CPTSD. This could be a person that has emotional flashbacks as well. Very intense. Like on a scale from 1 to 10, it's a 9. This could also be physical handicap or disability or chronic illness that affects you, chronic pain. Oh, that's deep. But mostly it's the belief that you think that nobody's going to want to be around you, especially romantically, because of this. So what past experiences are hindering you from finding love? We have history. Oh, that sucks. Jamaica Kincaid? History. I don't know much about her, so I'm gonna read it from the guidebook. Okay, Jamaica Kincaid was born in Antigua, a former slave-owning British colony in the West Indies. Eager to get away, she moved to the United States at 18 to work as an au pair. Soon after, she began writing New Yorker articles and intense, biting fiction and non-fiction, which speaks with tremendous authority and clarity, and often repeats images and phrases in an incessant invective against the failures of mothers, fathers, siblings, and colonialism. That makes sense. So I'm just gonna pull another card just to make sure, because yeah. Okay. So we have the cat. So for some of you, you could be very, very different from your family. Almost like the black sheep, because we have a black cat here. And that could be one of the things that's holding you back. The feeling of not belonging. Nobody's gonna want me. I don't belong. And others of you, it's your family that made you feel that way. It's the broader system that made you feel like that way. Like maybe if you have a disability of some sort, the country or area you live in is not very knowledgeable or makes things accessible for you. This could be autism as well. But yeah, it's a strong sense of not belonging. Nobody wants me. Feeling unwanted and unloved. And it's interesting because with these pictures here, I was picking up a very different... I'll talk about the pictures later on. Let me focus. So it's deep scars when it comes to the sense of self-worth and belonging. So we have universal guidance. I'm going to pick 3 cards. We have Toni Morrison, Power, Praying Mantis, and Use. Crazy stuff. Okay, let's start with Toni Morrison, Power. So the universal guidance from Spirit, the universe, Source, or God, is for you to reclaim your power. People, whoever made you feel the way that you felt or still feel, you need to reclaim that power back. I'm seeing the knife here, being drawn to the knife. It's like cutting cords, cutting ties with anyone who made you feel this way. It's bringing back your power. And you know the praying mantis? I think it was the female that eats the male after mating or something like that. They've become a symbol for like cutting people off with their heads type energy. Just enough is enough. And we have the Muse here as well. Like off with their heads, cutting people off. I feel like you're still in contact with people who make you feel like this, and it's time to cut the cords. It's time to group 3. My battery decided to go out, but we're going to continue. I was talking about getting your power back, and I don't really remember what I was talking about, to be honest. But yes, I was talking about getting your power back. And I was also talking about the praying mantis being a symbol of power. And let's see in the guidebook. The noose talks about anxiety, threat, and self-sabotage. And where's the praying mantis? Wit and manipulation, fun. So this is talking about taking back your power from the things or the people that could have almost destroyed you, and making it a strength. And like I was saying, I was going to talk about your picture. We have citrus. There are a variety of citrus, but here we have lemon. And here we have honey. When life gives you lemonade. Wait, no. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. But yeah, I genuinely sense that you guys are very sweet, very adorable people, but you're very sensitive and gentle at the same time. So you're very extra sensitive. Not in a bad way, it's a very beautiful thing. It's just that you're feeling like you don't belong. Your feeling of nobody's going to want me is a little bit over exaggerated, because out of all the many people here on this earth, some of them terrible people, did horrific things, they still somehow manage to find some crazy whack job to love them. So I'm pretty dang sure that someone out there is going to love you. I think the camera cut out again, but we shall overcome. I was talking about how very sweet you are and how gentle of soul you are, and how that can affect you. Even things that might seem insignificant to other people can cause very deep scars for you. But the question was universal. Yes, back to the question. What universal guidance does God, Source, whatever you believe in, have for you? So yes, it's to take back your power and to learn more. I don't want you to get consumed by people with antisocial personality disorders like narcissism, psychopathy, but learning more about them and having an understanding about them. I don't want you to be like those people who that's all they're consumed by and that's what defines them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I feel like you guys would benefit in understanding a little bit about them and how they see things. I think that would benefit you. And it would show you that that's one extreme, while you might be into another extreme, how the two can sort of mold together to make a healthy individual. You don't want to be agreeable, sweet, nice all the time and not have any boundaries. You don't want to be cruel and evil. You want to have boundaries, be nice, but also take no BS. So ancestral wisdom, we have identity and skull. With identity, it's very much talking about your self-worth, how you see yourself, and your identity as a person, who you are. You're not defined by whatever it is, whether it's your chronic pain, your mental illness, your physical disability, etc., etc. You are more than that. Because morbid as it is, when you die, you're just going to turn into bones. All of that stuff does not matter. But the person you were and the things you did is what matters. So, are you going to live a life that you are genuinely happy with and try to open up? And it might be scary. You might think that there are people out there out for blood, but you genuinely need to try if you want to achieve a life that you could be happy with. because I'm feeling some of you guys are very lonely and isolated. So the ancestral wisdom is for you to open up. And it's going to be hard. But if you genuinely and truly want to have a relationship, you'll do the hard work. And let's see the next steps. We have fate. Interesting turn of events. And the I'm just gonna take one more just to be sure. Perspective. That's insane. Gertrude Steen. Okay. So your next step is to just work on what I've been talking about, working on your power, your boundaries, your sense of self, changing that perspective that you have on yourself and who you are and how lovable or unlovable you think you are. That is all you need to do, because the rest is up to fate. We have the moon in the background right there. And we have the moon here. And the moon is cyclical. It's almost giving the energy of everything will just fall into place. Like one day you'll be in bed, lying next to the love of your life. And it will dawn on you, I can't believe this actually happened. It's unexpected. With the moon, it's like in the cover of the night. So it's something that is happening energetically behind the scenes before it manifests in your physical reality. And I'm trying to speed up this reading because pile 3, my camera has been going crazy with you. I am going to pull one tarot card. Any last message? Oh, before I pull the tarot cards, I didn't really talk in depth about your pictures like I did with the other group. So we have citrus and we have the bees and the honey. So bees are endangered. Most people are scared of bees. A lot of people are scared of bees. But bees are very important and they're endangered. And it's giving me the sense of some of you might have tried being a little less sensitive. But there's a reminder here that your sensitive nature is beautiful. It's a gift. And in this day and age, it's almost like the bee. Endangered. We have citrus here. So this is like the two extremes I was talking about. Lemon, honey. Lemon, very bitter. Honey, very sweet. But we also have like orange, tangerines, which are a little bit more balanced. So it's talking about having that kind of balance. One more card for group number 3. Yeah, but for some reason I just keep on hearing nobody wants me. Nobody wants me. Okay, we have the crow. your person, whoever it is that you're going to end up with, is energetically reaching out to you. You might have recently watched a love letter from your future spouse video, but you're getting closer. Let me just put it that way. You're getting closer to them. But your emotional guidance system, the way that you feel, will tell you when you're getting closer and when you're moving farther away. If you feel good, you're getting closer. If you feel bad, you're getting farther. So while your emotions might be difficult to deal with at times, they are ultimately what's going to lead you, because I'm seeing the compass here, to your person. And I was supposed to do one card, but I feel bad about speeding up this reading, so I'll just take another one. Crazy. So we have the compass here and we have a clock here. So like I'm saying, it's just take the leap. The leap and do the work. And before you know it, you'll wake up in like a whole new world, surrounded by people that love you. And yeah, group number 3, that is all I have for you. Thank you so much, and goodbye.